Welcome to another episode of the Big O Show. Guess what? I'm your man, the Big O. Really excited for today's episode. Man, this guy right here, he is a major developer, like developing, building stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like housing and things like that, right? He's an author. He's a philanthropist. He's an entrepreneur. He's a filmmaker. Man, basically, he's what's happening. I'm talking about Jaebadiah Gardner, CEO of GardnerGlobal. Welcome to the Big O Show.
Thank you, Big O. I appreciate you having me like always.
Yeah, and you know, it's an old saying. What's it like? Different song, same tune or something like that? Because
Same shit, different toilet.
Yeah, that too. we could go in the Wayback Machine because you've been coming to this studio. We've been here now. This is going on our fifth year that we've been here. And so for almost 5 years, you've been coming here to this studio. It's either 4 or 5 years. The names of the shows have changed over time. So the different shows that you've been on have changed over time. But we're still right here. So welcome back.
I love it, man. I first of all, I can't believe it's been 4 or 5 years. That's crazy, number one. And number two, it's been amazing to see the growth and progression of Converge and everybody at Converge and everyone's individual platform. And it's just, man, it's a blessing to see y'all doing your thing, man. And I'm just always thankful and grateful that y'all continue to bring me back to the space.
Yeah, no, it's all good. And you'll find throughout here, I think of stuff. And so I say it out loud and then we edit it in. So I know one thing that we're going to edit in is your first time you was here, because your first time you was here, you gave $1,000 to the cause of us buying new lighting live. And that's when it was live too.
So the grant was what, 1,000 to 12,000?
1,000 to 12,000.
GardnerGlobal is gonna go ahead and grant Converge Media $1,000 on the spot today.
That was live on the morning update show. It was like, man, GardnerGlobal, man, we want to donate $1,000. Yep. You know what I'm saying, for lights.
That was a moment. Man. But you know, like that's what I feel like our community should be about, you know, not scripted and planned on how we have to help each other, like just off the top, let's just help.
Right.
You know? And that was what was in my soul at the moment, you know, and so I'm that's crazy to think it's 4 or 5 years ago. So.
Yeah. it was a big deal. It was in here popping it too. I would make sure we edit that in, man. And when you talk about, you know, giving to community and everything else, what we're going to touch on is a little bit later is the rooftop honors. Because for me, man, when I tell you that was just so good for my soul to be able to, you know, to have a space like that. And so we'll get to that. But
okay.
Before we do, man, what have you been up to, bro?
Yeah, a whole lot, man.
Here comes the long list. You know, it's cool. You can make it truncated. The show ain't that long.
Yeah, no, I you know me, man. I keep my cards close to the vest anyways.
All right, so I'm a pull some cards out there.
Okay,
you know, we'll see if we can get it out that vest and see what happens. I mean, in the neighborhood, first and foremost, one of the things I want to talk about is the Sarah Queen. And yes. Sarah Queen, for people that don't know, and you'll be able to tell more, but that's the development that is going in what used to be Mount Calvary.
Yeah.
So Mount Calvary, right there on 23rd and Union, right next to the Uncle Ike's, you know what I'm saying? The church that was there, Reverend Witherspoon, they're relocated. They're doing their thing. You ain't stopped no praise. But it was some news last year because the church was demolished.
Yeah.
And a lot of people didn't realize, you know what I'm saying, what was happening. I know there was probably some assumptions there.
Oh, man.
And everything else. So once you take us from, you know, around the demolition of the church to maybe where you are now, and you can also talk about what the Sarah Queen is going to be in the timeline.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, man, you kind of struck a nerve with the demolition and just the PTSD with flashback to how that process had a lot of people confused. But I guess some folks just weren't paying attention because for 4 or 5 years, you've been having me in here and I've been talking about this project, and eventually the church was going to go. And I think it's different when you say something and then it actually happens. I think people are like, oh, Jay's talking, whatever. And then they woke up and was like, well, where's the church? And I'm like, yeah, I told y'all that's what we doing. But we're, you know, I try to explain to a couple folks that, you know, we can't look at it as, you know, something that has been destroyed or taken out of the community. It's something that's re-envisioned. We're re-envisioning and replanting. And that's what this project is about, and replanting the legacy of Sarah Queen Gardner, who's my grandmother, but also replanting the legacy of entrepreneurs and Black women who are in the space of business, who are pioneering right now. And where's the building that honors that? And that's what I want this project to represent. And so, you know, building went down and some folks' feelings got hurt, rightly so, man. It's been an icon in the community.
You know, I get it. My mom, not about this project, but my mom referred to us, a lot of people in our community who suffer from architectural trauma. And you know, and the trauma is compounded when we know that along with that trauma went displacement and gentrification and a lot of those things. And so, you know, there's also a community that is triggered as well. And the default is always going to be the worst case scenario.
Absolutely.
And not realizing that I think that I remember the actual report. I remember I wrote a long article when all of this came out and with the church, and I forget the name of the show that was on air at the time, but it was about it was a series on Netflix about the church. I'm gonna remember what it is, but I was like, it's not a drama like that. You know what I'm saying? The church is sound. The church is happy. You know, this is a relationship that's come together that's beneficial for Mount Calvary and beneficial for our neighborhood, and especially people who want to see Black developers in the neighborhood developing for us.
100%. You know, honestly, you know, when I saw, particularly on Facebook, I don't really be on the Book of Face that much. But you know, shout out to Keisha Credit, who is always creating real dialogue online. I really love it. And she tagged me in a post and, you know, asking questions like, you know, like, hey, is this good or is this not good? And that's a fair question to ask. You know, just because he's a Black developer doesn't mean that he just gets a get out of jail free card. We get
skin folk ain't always kin folk,
you know, all day. And, you know, it's a fair question to ask. No, and I love that she asked that because I was actually curious, like, yeah, what does that mean to Seattle? What does that mean to Black Seattle? And, you know, for me, watching people jump to assumptions, thinking that it was a white development company running the project. And I saw one that made me chuckle, man. Somebody posted like, they demolished the church. How demonic. And I was like, oh man. And after a while I just stopped reading it because it don't matter what people say. At the end of the day, they can say whatever they want. But you know, I get it. I get the emotional trauma and the attachment to our structures, man, because our community has about everything that has been taken from us on every single level. And so I totally get the visceral reaction of like, oh snap, building's gone. It's got to be the worst case scenario again, you know, and I'm just happy to be able to have a platform, thankful to Converge, to be like, nah, it ain't the same old thing that you thought it was. It's someone like me who's behind it, who's spearheading, who owns the property. And
say it again. You what?
Owns the property.
One more time for the people in the back.
Owns the property and owns the property across the street.
I was getting to this. See, I was setting you. I was trying to throw you the oop, but you know what I'm saying. I know you had to hit the step from the 3-point line.
I'll say it right now, 2026, and I'll have to say it again when I demolish the Joshua Center and the house that's associated with on the property. Is we're going to develop an 8-story building on that site, similar size, more family style units. And it's going to be 100% affordable on that site. So when the Joshua Center gets demolished, all y'all should know that it's Gardner Global behind it.
Right. And so circling back to the Sarah Queen,
yes,
because there's intention in the name, so that means that there must be intention in all aspects of it. You're honoring an ancestor. Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit more about the Sarah Queen development, on how many floors or rooms, if you guys have figured all that out.
Yeah, absolutely. We're slated to get our builder's permit in the next, call it 60 to 75 days, which means we will have gone through the city process to get our building permitted to actually build, which is huge. And it'll be an 8-story building. Oh, I got something super cool to share that I haven't really shared. 8-story building, 117 units, and 30% of those are going to be affordable at 80% of the area median income and below. So 30% of our building will have affordable units in it. And one really distinguishing factor in this project is I got approval by the city to build a rooftop bar on level 8.
Well,
and I'll tell you why that's important. Because I'm pretty sure, you ain't gotta look far. Seattle's not that big, but I'm pretty sure if you look at any neighborhood, there is no multifamily apartment building that has a rooftop bar in the building. If you want to go for a
Mr.
rooftop
Director,
experience,
have you seen that before?
Rooftop bar in a multifamily building in a neighborhood in Seattle. No, only hotels downtown Seattle. So what I'm creating for the CD, me too, mine included. And so I want people to get excited about this. Is we've embarked on something a little novel here, is creating basically a bar cafe vibe at level 8 that will have views of downtown Seattle and Mount Rainier.
So let me ask you this then. So is it 7 stories of like apartments?
8 stories.
And then so then it's 9.
So I call it rooftop, but it's in level 8.
It's in level 8, okay.
And then there's going to be a rooftop where
right. So but even so, but you've upzoned, so you got upzoned 1 floor and got a bar.
No, we didn't get upzoned. The property was already zoned for the height that we're at. I lobbied and pushed our team to explore putting a cafe bar experience on level 8, so it's within the building.
Right. For what people might not understand is just like Midtown and LBB, those are capped at 7, and so that's what I'm saying. But you were already zoned in at 8.
It's 75.
Yeah,
but there are some nuances with our building type that we were able to.
Oh yeah, I mean, you don't listen. You ain't got to give me the game.
We just figured it out.
Asking for it. I'm just like, wow. That's what I'm saying, because I used to really be in that space, of like, here's up zone, down zone, square footage, I used to know all AMI. I kind of fell off a little bit. I've been busy, but so that's why I was saying like, wow, okay, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And I'd like to be there at school. I'll be there when we're always there at groundbreakings and ribbon cuttings, so we'll be there for that. But I want to be there when you open the bar.
Yeah. No, and it's not going to be like a bar where, it ain't going to be like a free for all. It'll be, why I'm excited is because I'm putting this out there now in the universe is if you were POC Black owned restaurateur or bar operator who's looking for an opportunity to do some work, this is your opportunity to have a high level 8 experience with an outdoor patio. And so I'm looking at communion like maybe this is the spot you go and get a cocktail before you go to dinner.
Right.
Or after, vice versa. You have your dinner at communion, you go, let's go hang it on the rooftop at the Sarah Queen real quick and get a cocktail. And that experience gives the neighborhood something to do. I want activity in our neighborhood, right? And so and being thoughtful and intentional about it, right?
Right. And so developing, whether you're an affordable developer or just straight up
market rate.
There you go. I used to have the whole glossary.
You got it.
I fell off. Whether you're a market rate, man, this thing takes bread and it takes Another thing that starts with B sometimes. It's that, I mean, it's not for the weak, it's not for the meek. And what I think what people also don't understand too is like, you know, when government builds, government is sustained. You know what I'm saying? If the city decides to build a building or this and that, but when developers, and then you got big development companies that are national and international, or even just very huge here in our region.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to diminish you in size or anything, but I'm saying compared to a lot of some of the other people that you building against, bruh, you know what I'm saying? Being in that space and stepping out there, and I don't know, I mean, it's all illegal, so I don't mean it in this kind of way. I don't know what you had to do to get all this bread together. I mean, these are buildings that cost what, like $40-50 million to build.
Yeah, the Sir Queen's a $51 million project.
51 what?
$51 million project.
Hello.
The project across the street will be about the same size, 50 to 60. So that's 100 M's investing in that one street.
That's what I'm saying. That's $100 million. I'm not trying to have the financial discussion with you. We got another show we're launching
at some point.
But I'm saying we have another show that's launching where we can really, and someone to have a complete takeaways, right? But I mean, to the process to either have 100 million in the bank or have the access to or have this line or have whatever is like, I mean, that's just a big deal.
And I appreciate you acknowledging that. And I don't ever feel some kind of way of like trying to size me up against it, because I don't look at anybody as competition. I don't see us competing. If we compete against ourselves and the work we're doing. But the reality of it is, you know, GardnerGlobal is a small firm. We're a small developer. You know, we haven't been around for a generation or for 20 years, almost 17 years will be this March.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But I don't come from resources. You know, my family didn't have a trust set up for me to tap into to be able to take out $300,000 to put down on it on Calvary. None of that happened, man. I had to really get it out the mud and hustle, vision and execution, and just sticking to the script. I never switched up. And I think that's a part of the journey is most people, it got too hard, so they hook a left or they hook a right. And I never was like, nah, we got to keep going straight. And when you do that, you just continue to problem solve. And you know, at some point.
Well, you know, what I meant in talking about like size is that we can say the same thing here at Converge, that we're not a tenth of the size of any of people that you would consider our competitors in the TV space. When you talk about, you know, Fox 13, which is Tegna, which owns Channel 5. Cox Communications, Cox Cable owns Channel 7. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And here we are, Converge. And what I'm saying is they're all building in their way. And it's whatever. And we have our own way. And you know what I'm saying? But when we do, I said that we're always punching above our weight class.
Absolutely.
And you know what I'm saying? A lot of days we take more blows than we give. But when we land a blow, it's big and it's there and it's sustainable. And that's kind of what I mean in being in this space, that there's the big, you know, massive real estate firms and developers that are out there, the generational developers, and even like you said, the trust fund developer. Hey, Pops, let me get like $2-3 million and flip it. It'd be great. I could do that for myself. That's what I'm saying, what you're supposed to do. And then it's kind of like the cats who get it out the mud, the cats who have the mix of like, you know, book smart and street smarts, you know what I'm saying? Like emotional intelligence, social understanding, and the willingness and the determination of not to quit. The person that is like, I really feel like this with you is I could call you and I could be like, hey, I need your help to get down on something about real estate. Or I could also say like, hey, Jaebadiah, we short-handed at the studio, bruh. We trying to clean up over here. Can you come for a few hours and push a broom? Like, for me, I think that's what makes you dope, is that like at the level that you're sitting here, it's like, yeah, 50 million here, this and there, this many units, that many units. It's like I could call you and be like, bruh, you know what I'm saying? I'm jammed up. on that everyday pedestrian, and you're not hitting me with, well, I'm a developer here of the Sarah Queen, and I want to acknowledge that on my platform with my audience. You see what I'm saying?
I appreciate that, man, because I feel like sometimes I get hit with the perception of, he's too cool for school kind of thing, or whatever. He's in the old, like, I can't even be like that because I didn't come from that. And it's really not even about the money. It's about like focus and heart and soul. And when you I got more soul than I got more heart than any check can cash. Right. And at the end of the day, money is just a tool to get shit done. And, that's how I look at it. I don't look at, it's 50 million and I'm this and I'm that, bro. 50 mil in the world, not even the world, 50 mil in a city where we are surrounded by billionaires is a drop in the bucket. So yeah, I am small fish in the pond, but it's what you do in the pond.
You're a big deal to us.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
And before we move on, this is the one thing that is right now that's on the radar that people are like watching Gardner Global and everything else. But you have other interests and you've made other developments around the city of Seattle, or, planned developments around the city of Seattle and within King County. And Skyway and everything else. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you wanted to touch on any of those.
I mean, I'm a developer. I wake up and I look at, the highest and best use of a piece of property, and then how intentional could I be around that investment? What does that community need? Do I know folks in that community who need something? What do the economics look like? The demographic? I mean, there's a whole set of research and data I look at, but I'm a developer, and I look at it as this is the wealth building exercise that wasn't afforded me when I was a baby or a teen or in college, or auntie and uncles, and, auntie and uncle bought a couple homes and I'm listening to how they're doing it and how they went to that education was not in my space. So I went out and just got it. And, I got mentors who are always like, remain humble, man. Just be humble. You know what I mean? But don't let the humbleness, be the reason why you get stepped on. Like I'll me more than most people. I'm quick to confront. I'm not tripping. So 50 million here, cool, man. You still with the smoke. I'm still with the smoke, like I grew up in Southgate, LA, and surrounding myself with some really amazing people in Seattle who are about that smoke here. And so, I always make sure I stay connected to those roots and to those people because it's real.
And we're gonna transition here in a second to Southgate, to Spokane. But what you just said now, you said mentors, but I want to call out maybe it might be a mentor, but it seems to me like maybe a contemporary of yours. And I see you show up for this guy and celebrate him all over the place, and I see him show up for you, and he's actually got something big coming on the horizon. I think you know what I'm talking about. It's our guy from Boom Boona.
Oh man, come on, my guy.
I got video. Hello, edit it in. The grand opening of the University of Washington location.
Yeah.
You were there. We got you on tape, and you showed up over there to celebrate that. And I mean, I see this. You guys were like together at the UW or studying at grad school?
Ephraim went to Wazoo. So we always have the, UW Wazoo.
Oh, and Ephraim Fahasa, by the way.
Yeah, Ephraim Fahasa with Boom Boona. He went to Wazoo, so we always do the Coug UW because, I'm all dogs, dubs up, and so, but we met, like post college. We have mutual friends, man. And I told the story one time, but I remember in 2015 when he was telling me about Boom Boona and about what he wanted it to be and the meaning behind the words of Eritrean culture and Ethiopian culture and the whole story. And I remember, I want to say it was 2015, and like we were cool, we were homies then. I mean, we were dreamers, right? And then to see all the work that he's put in to make the dream a reality is so fucking beautiful, man. Like, but I love that, man. Like we need more Ephraims, right? And he doesn't look at things as obstacles, man. He's looking at how do I get through that, you know? And
yeah,
and
he was amazing. Years ago, he was SBA Small Business of the Year. Now he's got the coffee shop opening there on the waterfront,
bro. And he's hiring people. He's giving people living wages, man. And to be who he is in America today, and it's to be able to say, I have these employees and these people with health benefits, man, that's huge, man. So shout out to Ephraim, and he knows I got mad respect for him, and everybody over at Boom Boona and everyone behind Boom Boona and in it and around it. And that's my guy, man. So it's always love for Ephraim, for sure.
Right. Now, not only are you a developer, you're also a filmmaker, and you made a film, and we'll let you shout out all the crew and everybody else. But you made a film called Sarah. Yep. Again, a nod to your grandmother, to Sarah Queen. And in the film, it kind of shows your roots down in Southern California and then in Spokane. And maybe, so this is two things in one. Maybe you can talk about like that journey in the physical, but then also talk about the film and what inspired you to manifest that. It's been an ongoing project for you.
Yeah, no, and I'm continuing to build on it. You know what I mean? And so, no, I just kind of want to, I heard someone say a long time ago, man, you got to control your own narrative. You know, and I wrote my book, you know, during the pandemic and self-published it to control my narrative, but also, you know, if there are any questions or doubts of what was happening, well, he wrote a book, read it. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to question how I did what I did, I literally telling you how I did it. And the same goes with just kind of being creative with the film. And I'm a closet creative, man. I love art. I love culture in that way. So I was like, you know what if we told the story in an interesting way that can dovetail into the actual development of the project, so people get a clear idea of where I come from. Because, you know, I don't have, you know, roots in Seattle per se. Like, my parents and grandparents weren't going to Mount Calvary or Mount Zion, right? Because I was in LA, Southgate, LA. And I had to earn my spurs in a different environment. But I came to Seattle 97, been here 29 years, and had to build that community, right? I didn't know Pastor Witherspoon for the past 30 years, but I've known him the past 10, 15, right? And so having to kind of having to create those relationships and find out who the Omaris were and who the calligraphies were, like, I had to set out and do that because y'all are culture and I want to be a part of culture. That's who we are. My village, where's my village? And it's such a dope village in Seattle, you know, and I wanted to share that through the film and give people perspective of like, yo, there's some LA Southgate mixture happening along with the town business, Seattle. And how do those two converge? You know what I mean? And it gives people a little bit of insight into my personality and who I am and how I function a little bit. And I wanted to continue to pay homage to my grandmother, you know, my late grandmother.
Hey, we're filming.
Are you paying attention? Are you hungry? Are you housed? Are your lights on? Are you cold? That's a question for the viewers. Now here's a question for you, Jaebadiah. When was the last time you cried?
Last time I cried, when I think about it in detail, that person breaking into her shop and stabbing her 52 times, that was probably the last time I cried. And I still cry every time I think about it. My grandmother, Sarah Queen Gardner, is a Spokane Black pioneer. And she was the first Black woman to open up multiple salons in Spokane. And she didn't just use it to do hair. She used that as a space for refuge for people in the community who needed it. That's my grandmother. And this project is named after her.
What is going on there for those that don't know and might have some questions?
We're looking at an 8-story building, 117 units, and about 35% of those 117 units are going to be affordable units. It's also going to be a statement piece for our culture. It's a symbolism of all the trauma and pain that we've been through as a community, and to be able to live in a building that reflects that in a positive way. And what the architect did was they took the exterior brick design
and created this basket weave type of pattern. It encapsulated a residency, but also a place where people can kind of commune. And you can commune on a rooftop at a high level, have a cocktail, or have a coffee there at work, or you can commune on level 1 in the retail, which there'll be multiple businesses with no walls that separates them or divides them, in a way that I think we will pay homage to, not only my grandmother, but Black women in general who are out here building businesses and holding their own. So the first thing you see when you walk in is going to be a vintage train station-like space.
Walk me through the meaning and the symbolism.
The kind of great migration of Southern Black people up to the north and to the west. A lot of people were Pullman porters. They worked on trains and they moved through cities. And my grandfather was a Pullman porter. He worked his way up from Mississippi all the way up to Spokane, Washington. Black culture from one location to the other and how they got there. So
what do you think that the Sarah Queen building is going to mean for young Black and brown children?
I think it's super important for those kids who get raised in those buildings to see themselves in a light of greatness.
You're going to have some funk on you if you don't give no love to the city of Spokane.
Man, Spokane, first years 1 through 5. I was an infant. 1 through 5 I spent in Spokane. So shout out Spokane. I learned a lot of things early from years 1 through 5. The 2 biggest things I learned in Spokane, or I would say not learned, but my experiences were based off of murder and drugs. Those are the first 2 things I remember. So goes the story. So I wanted to make sure people get a little idea when they think, oh, his head's in the clouds, 50 million, he thinks he's too cool, or he didn't really buy it. Nah, man. We put in work, man. Talk about trauma earlier. Yeah. I know what that trauma feels like. I feel it every day.
My intention wasn't to trigger you with. No, and I'm being sincere, by the way. But because
I didn't take it that way, but I'm just always, I'm passionate about mine.
Yeah, I just know that they love you over in Spokane. I ain't want nobody to watch this whole episode.
Be like, oh, yeah.
And you be like, man, Southgate, Seattle. Southgate.
Nah, man, no. I just wanted to level set the experiences.
Right.
But I grew up in a house with my grandparents in Spokane, my grandmommy and my granddaddy, with my cousin Lisa Gardner.
Hello.
She's like my cousin sister, shout out Lisa. And we saw, it was short term for me because I was so young, but I got to see a little glimpse of my grandmommy work and a little glimpse of my granddaddy and my dad and my auntie who's no longer with. So, there's some serious Spokane roots, man, that were there. That laid the foundation early before I left to LA. So, shout out to Spokane for sure. We got love for the East Side.
All right. No.
We got love for the East Side.
Man, I want to talk to you about the rooftop honors.
Yeah. Let's definitely rap about that.
Man, so first of all, I'll let you tell our audience what the rooftop honors was, and then I'm gonna say what it meant to me.
Okay. Man, it just came from an idea. Honestly, number one, I was like, I have a rooftop and I never use it. And why not use it for something really dope? And I just kind of continued to brainstorm, and man, I was just kind of like, rooftop is dope. What else is dope? I know dope people. And hold on, Marcus Green, Omari Salisbury. Man, what if we gave them their flowers? And we did it in an organic way, our way, not the dress up in a, business casual way. Like, no, come as you are kind of way. And I wanted to really just create a moment to let y'all know I appreciate you and Marcus and all you do for the city. And so when I was thinking about you two, guess what song was playing? I put on for my city.
Cheesy.
My city.
Hello.
So I was like, man, the universe is telling me. And so I was like, what if I had to put on for your city rooftop honors? I mean, I feel like that was real. I feel like I would do something like that. And that's what happened. And so I wanted to make sure you got your flower, a little bit of the flowers, make sure you know that I madly respect and appreciate the work you do. And Marcus Green holding his torch down, or up in all kind of ways, man. And I mean, Seattle Times, The Strangers. I mean, he started an entire publication. He's publisher. And I just wanted to make sure there was a platform for y'all to feel loved, welcomed, and appreciated and be able to, let y'all know that that's really what it was.
Yeah. I want to tell you that, man, that was one of the most special days in my life that I'd have to go back a very long time. Like, cause it was a public event. We all had special days, like our family and this and that, our kids and things. Man, it was so tremendous. And actually, we're going to play that for you right now.
Welcome to GardnerGlobal Rooftop. This is not publicly posted, and the overwhelming response of people who were like, I'm gonna be there, is a true testament to this guy, Marcus Green, and this guy, Omari Salisbury.
Me and Eric Calligraphy set out 9 years ago with a vision to give the Central District its own TV network. Imagine how crazy that shit sound, right? I was driving Uber and selling beer and peanuts at T-Mobile Park to just buy our first camera. Who would have thought that this seed planted with purpose would blossom into what it is today?
It's always so ironic, things like this, because you're here and you're under the spotlight and you're getting celebrated alone, and you don't get here alone at all. There is no self-made person. There's a community-made person, and it's this community that has made me. 8 years ago, it was the third year of the Emerald, and my family, we had lost our home, and we were sleeping on mattresses in a one-bedroom apartment with 4 other people, and at that moment, I didn't know whether I had made the right decision to go on with the Emerald, to tell the stories, to leave a career in finance and journalism. And at the end of the day, it was the community that's here, the community that's not here, that helped to support me. That I will never let you down. I promise you that. I love you. Thank you.
To our community, you show up for us without fail. It is your unwavering support, your honest feedback, and your beautiful spirits that continually make us better. This Black Joy journey, where we strive to put paint where it ain't, is made vibrant because of you. To our community members, I'm eternally grateful. For me, this journey is rooted in a deeply personal conviction to make sure I don't leave this earth with these gifts in my hands, to always strive to give back, to share what has been given to me. Storytelling, a profound inheritance from my beloved father, has become my guiding star, especially since his passing in 2023. Every time I pick up that camera, James Salisbury Sr. is coursing through me. I feel my father when I touch that camera, and my focus is so tight. And the other thing is that, man, the excruciating pain that I've been in almost the last 2 years, that I don't talk about, I don't do anything, I just get out and I go. The pain be through the roof, and these people covered for me. The Franciscos and the Erics and the Tavises and the Base, that they covered for me. So if you ever see me out there and I didn't meet you with the same smile that you brought to me, and I didn't meet you with the same hug that you brought to me, just know, man, that, man, I'm carrying something.
I can love you, man.
You know what I'm saying? Just carrying something. Man, shit, I love you right back. But this shit hurt. And if I can smile for you, I would. So, tonight, in this very special moment, I implore each of you to embrace the profound power of giving. Give of yourself and watch how the world and indeed your own spirit transforms. This honor, cherished as it is, gives its true meaning to me from your presence here tonight, from sharing this profound moment with you all. God bless you and thank you.
What I really liked about this is in a place where I was comfortable around our people saw like I guess the word is a vulnerable side of that they hadn't seen and I hadn't known and everything else, you know what I'm saying? Because I literally, man, I stayed out the way. Okay, it was real. I couldn't walk. I couldn't do this. Pain beyond like 8, 9, and just to be able to sit there and tell people, and it was real. There is like if you came up to me and I didn't greet you with the same hello, and I didn't greet you with the same hug, that's why. And so many people, it gave people being able to say that there. Gave people a reason or the catalyst to then hit me and be like, man, I understand now. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It was so many people like, man, I understand. If I haven't been out and you hadn't, man, just so you ain't on the block no more. He done forgot about us. You know what I'm saying? Because all of those things aren't something that I would sit here in the Black Media Matters studio and say to a camera like, hey, everybody, I want to let you know that it's this. But it was so freeing for me to be able to express what was on my heart. And even talking with Marcus afterwards, it was special for him. And he said that like that day that he's like, man, no one gets there alone. I'm here because of community. And he talked about a challenge that he faced that a lot of people probably never even realized that he faced his third year in business. And I just want you to know that you created something very, very special. And I think you created something that's something only you can do. Because I be invited to places and I'm thankful for every honor that I've gotten and every award that I've gotten. But those spaces weren't intended to be what you created there. And man, it was that day was the day that shifted something in my heart. You see what I'm saying? When you talk about I'm glowing right now and all this,
glowing, got the aura.
Yeah, man. A burden was lifted off of me, man, that has never returned. It started right there.
Man, that's. I mean, to hear that is like a mind blown because I didn't know how it would land. I didn't have a script. You know what I mean? I wasn't up there like, and today we're going to honor Omari. I was up there like, yo, man, these two dope ass motherfuckers in Seattle that I rock with who hold down all of us actually. And I just make some time for us to give them their flowers. And so to hear how it landed with you is like, wow, I didn't even know, man. So I'm just, again, like, I'm just thankful and appreciative for all that you do. And that was just the moment where I just wanted to share that in a public way. So I'm beyond, like, I'm speechless. I could have never thought. I didn't know. I didn't do it. Because I was like, oh, I hope he feels this.
Bro.
I'm like, I really rock with you guys, and I think we need more of that in the town where it's just organic flowers being given.
That rooftop honors segment that we just played, and big shouts out to Francisco Dead Eyes Lopez. He's the truth. That is one of the most special things that we created, and especially not knowing what we were going to create. It was just like, bro, just be there and let's see what happens. And I mean, so it was amazing. And the thing is that was given, you gave to me and to Marcus but we've covered you over the years giving to communities. We've covered like turkey giveaways and all these drives and Christmas. Like, I got receipts on you, bro.
You sure do. 100%.
Where does that giving spirit is, you know us. And so it's really dope that, like, man, how can I uplift my folks? Yeah. But, it's a lot of people out there in community who over the years, you don't know, but you created a platform for people to come and get fed and get school supplies, get medical supplies, things like that.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, that they always say to whom much is given, much is expected, or I don't know, however it goes. And I don't know, man, like it's got to just be organic. I don't just do things just because, like, everything I do is thought out and intentional, right? And if it feels right, I'm gonna do it. It's got to feel right inside, and that felt right inside. And so I feel like when you do things, projects, awards, paintings from an organic place, it's gonna show. You can't hide organic love. You can't hide it, and you can't fake it.
No,
because if it was fake, you would have been like, man, this whack award, what is this? And nah, you felt my energy, and honestly, that was my goal. I want them to feel how much I really appreciate them, and to see everyone else there absorb your words and Marcus's words. Like, I wasn't like, come with the script. I said, y'all got some time to say some things, so you can use it.
A pin drop in there too.
Yeah. Pin drop on an outdoor rooftop on a summer day.
I mean, it was almost scary that, like, everyone was listening.
Yeah.
To when Marcus spoke and when I spoke.
Yeah.
It was really special. Look, we gotta wind it up here. As we wind down, as we land this plane. Now, the best thing about a developer is almost like, a different way, but like a forester. A lot of times that a forester, except God willing, you get to live to see your development. A forester plants a seed, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you plant that tree, and I mean, some trees, take 70 years to mature. 100%. But you've gone now, and you've got to let that one grow, and now you've already moved on to like planting more seeds. For an everyday person, it sounds like you might have your hands full. You've got the Sarah Queen. You've got another development coming online in a few years across the street. You've got an opportunity there in Skyway, a development that you're trying to move there.
3.5 acres.
3.5 acres right there in Skyway. And man, we can't wait to see that happen. Now, without giving away too much, because you like to play close on your vest, just in a sense, not a specific, but in a sense, man, like what's next for Jaebadiah GardnerGlobal? Where are you at 10 years from now?
Oh, that's always an interesting question, because people ask me that often, in just various forums, interviews or what have you. And I'm going to say the same thing I've been saying for the past, call it, 17 years since I started the company, is you're going to see. I don't like to talk about my dreams, You'll know where I'm trying to be in 10 years when you see me, So 10 years from now, whatever I'm doing, that's what I set out to do. 10 years from today, what everyone's doing, the 2016 post, from 2016 to till today, 10 years ago, I'm doing what I said I was going to do. I didn't have any money at all to buy land in 2016. I didn't have anything. I had a small office space, and I was trying to figure it out. But I said, I'm about to buy some property, and we're going to develop it. Here we are 10 years later, and we got 4 of those deals. $300+ million in total development costs, 800 units. Over half of those are going to be affordable in our city. So in the next 10 years from now, y'all going to have to see. Wait and see.
That's dope. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna see.
But it's the journey. Y'all been along with me on this journey, so it ain't like it's a secret. I'm not telling you.
It's real dope, because when people ask me things like that, it's like I'm whatchamacallit. There's just so many other forces driving us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like in what we do. Yeah, I mean, people are, and there's some stuff I'm not trying to give away. You know, I'm a good misdirection guy. I'm like, actually, we want to go and you know, get it whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'll throw you, off.
My favorite thing to do. I'm not a master troller, man, but my favorite thing to do is the misdirect, bootleg play.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, I remember one time, right? I got invited on this media panel, right? And there was the Converge, a big enigma, like, oh man. And of course, all of our competitors in Seattle, like on the individual level, we don't really have any competitors. You know what I'm saying? I'll be rocking with all these guys at different. And over time, we've done something with every station here, every paper, and all that. But they were like, well, Omari, you know, what is your secret in doing this in the black community? And what's your this, and that? I said, my mama didn't raise no fool. I said, you think I'm going to sit here with all of my competitors and tell you our secret sauce? I said, no, but I will tell you one piece of advice. Work harder. No one cares. And I had to leave with that. I said, you must think my mama raised a fool. I'm going to sit here with all these people who got 10, 100 times the resources that we have. And I tell them other than hard work will always beat talent when talent refuses to work hard. Yeah, I do leave people with some information in that sense, but I get what you're saying. Before I do let you go, I just thought about something too. And I hope that you guys hook back up this year. And maybe you might also give an observation of when we talk about growth. You were in Back to Basic, episode 1. Yeah. And believe it or not, we're coming up on 3 years. Okay. Coming up on 150 episodes. That's crazy. Coming up on over 1,000 stories like yours told. Yeah.
Y'all be putting in work, man.
Believe that. You were story 1 in episode 1.
Honored.
We've made over 999 other stories produced like yours all across the region and all, you know what I'm saying?
I see y'all be down in Portland. You'll be in Spokane.
We was in Charlotte. Which is people in Alaska.
Man, I can't keep up with you. I can't keep up with y'all. And that's inspiring. That's inspiring because that pushes me, and I'm sure there's other people who get pushed by the work. Because man, 1,000 episones, man, 1,000 stories, 1,000 stories. I mean, bro, proof is in the pudding, you know? And I'm honored that I remember. We'll cut it in a minute, but I remember when Back to Besa and that idea was formulating, and Besa was like, "Hey, we're about to shoot our inaugural episode. You want to be in it?" And I was like, sure. I don't know what that means. I don't know what y'all doing, but it came out beautiful, and just to be the first episode, man, like I'm honored.
Yeah, it's dope. So I think we got to connect you and Basis as we come up on that actual 3-year anniversary, man. That'd be a dope check-in because we talked to you 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Check back in with you, right?
Yeah, no, 100%. You know, I'm here for it. And man, like I said, honored to be able to be in this seat and for y'all to give Gardner Global a platform is incredible, man. But you don't do it just for Gardner Global, myself, man. You do it for so many people in the town and the region, the state. And that matters, man. That matters because no one knows which one of these interviews could take that person, that business, that company through the roof.
It's true. Hey, man,
no one knows
those stories.
And I'll tell you what, like every time I do something with you guys, when I sit down and we interview, man, something positive always comes out of it, man. So I want you to know that, like, this is a mutually beneficial situation, and I appreciate you for putting us on.
All right, man. Right back at you. Here's where we want. See the camera right there in the hood. We got this all set up well. You're used to this from the day with Trey and the morning update show.
It was one camera, now we got 2, and then now we got 4 or 5. I mean, I've seen it, bro.
So, in that camera right there, right behind Eric, man, why don't you let people know anything that you want them to know, how they can get up with you, how they can buy your book, how they can stay encouraged?
Man, Thank you. Shout out to Converge Media. Shout out to the Gardner Global team. Shout out to shout out to Lisa Gardner, my cousin. Shout out to all of our partners and banking partners and investors who continue to support Gardner Global. You can find more about the work that we're doing at Jaebadiah.com. We try to do a great job of keeping that updated. So if you ever want to, get a little peek behind the curtain, Jaebadiah.com. I'm always posting up new information about our next steps. And then also, just find me on Instagram. I'm super communicative, so hit me up there. And other than that, I'm not hard to find online. Not hard to find at all, so.
Or in these streets.
we be in these streets for real. This is no secret. So yeah, that's how it's done.
Jaebadiah Gardner, founder, CEO, GardnerGlobal.
Absolutely.
Developer, author, filmmaker, philanthropist, but most importantly, my friend.
I appreciate you. I do want to maybe say one thing before we close it out, because we do live in some very interesting, some really whack political times. And it's permeating across everything, financial markets and nonprofits. Everything's getting touched because of our political situation. And I just want to make sure that everybody out there, Black and brown communities, this is our moment to continue to work together and get through this, because history has already told us. When we get through things, we get through it together, and we always take the brunt because, the Black community is always out front leading, but that don't mean we have to do it alone. So, tough times are out here, but tough times don't last. Tough people do.
Mm-hmm.
And, I just want to make sure that people know that, like, it's not easy out here, and, but we got to stick together and we got to push back hard, super, super, super hard, So that's all I wanted to leave my piece with, man, because there's a lot of dreariness, man, and everyone's scared or they're sad, and they have rightly so. But let's get to work.
Yeah,
let's push back.
You gotta move that energy into something, man.
Positive shit. Use that to build, and let's get creative and have fun with this, man. Like, that no one gets to get the final say in our community. We get the final say in our community. Period. So with that.
Well, with that, you literally got the final word. Jaebadiah, thank you.
Appreciate you.
All right, that's it for this episode of the Big O Show. And man, big shout outs to Jaebadiah for popping in. Gardner Global is doing his thing, but even more than that, he's walking the walk, or walking the talk. Man, you know what I mean. But listen, until next time, I'm the Big O, and I'm out. Peace.